We're ready to get started chopping here now. We're starting at our heifer farm. So we got 150 some head of breeding heifers here. And they got a pasture that runs out and runs on both sides of a small field here. It's only like 27, 28 acres. Plant corn there. It's like an 88-day corn, so we're gonna chop that. Start off in the harvester silo. So we're just pulling up to our field here. The neighbors to the across the road to the west of us are going ready. Gotta remember how to work all this stuff. Head unfolded. Start up my knives. Should probably put it in slow gear. Reverse the head to untrip the metal detector. Couple seconds, all the teeth get lined up. Ready to get started. Kinda hard to do this one-handed, get stuff started. It's looking awfully dry, but it typically works better to blow dry feed into the silo. Wet feed will gum up in the pipe. We're off to the races. Almost 5 miles an hour. It looks pretty dry, but right now we're sitting at 67, 69% moisture. Fortunately, the ears are just dry enough that there's a lot falling off the ground. Like I can hear 2, 3, all too busy YouTubing, getting off the rows. So we're coming to the end of the first day of chopping here. We started on the south side of the road there and got 17 some loads done. We're filling the blue harvester silo at the heifer farm. For the last load, I went and jumped across the road here to what we call the rock field. We're going here on day 2 of chopping corn silage here. We got just a little 9 or 10 acre piece here we're working on. We got 16 loads in the silo last night, and then one more this morning to top it off. So now we're starting on the second silo. I gotta leave 6 rows for our crop adjuster to come through, and then he'll do a yield check to determine our yield for crop insurance, for how that works. Deer damage. And then he's coming Friday, so we'll next week probably come through and clean up these rows that we gotta leave. That's a wrap on the first field for corn silage. At 29 loads now, we came here with 18, so that's 11 loads off 10 acres, 9 acres at 10 ton a load. Well, we're up here at the top of the Hanson silo. Just to the bottom of the 9th door down. I don't know how many doors exactly are in here. I'm waiting in line for him to get done emptying. Perfect time to look at the soybeans. You can sure see the rockier ground is drying up. Well, it's 2 or 3 days later here. We're finishing up chopping silage. There's a field 2 miles over. That was that little one. I went there today and cleaned up those check rows I left. I got maybe 1 load left here of rows. And I got that wagon plenty full. So that's gonna make a little bit more work for my brother and my dad. Right now we're filling the concrete silo on the right, the gray one. Well, that'll be it for chopping today. The silo's full. He's got a third of a wagon sitting on yet. So I'm just pulling my full wagon home. It's Saturday now, so we'll let the silo sit for 2 days till Monday. And then as it settles with the compaction in there, it'll create more space, and then we can get these loads in there. And then we'll get the loader set up next week, and we'll start feeding out of it already. Pretty night to burn stuff, I guess. Oh, and I forgot my pitchfork. Back down I go. Brother's out cutting hay, the fourth cutting. So depending how much it dries, we'll be chopping that tomorrow or Wednesday. We got 220 acres, 240, and we'll chop it in 2 days. Got idling a little bit too low. You just see the tractor jerking. But it feels nice because he's blowing cool air up here, and that's blowing the heat out of here. The worst part about this is how that's all coned up. We have to flatten it all out before we put the unloader down. So that includes the pitchfork. And it sucks because it's going to be hot feed. Burnt up some old buildings and brush piles last week. Cleaned up the yard a little bit. Well, I was doing a bunch of clunking and then it quit. And I can hear the airflow slowing down, so I think that jolting back and forth broke his shear bolts. Good thing I'm up here, I don't have to deal with that now. I'm just gonna sit up here and tell him when it's full. Or when it gets to the spout. Then I can undo the bolts. And then I can adjust the spout and get it fuller. But it's probably 100 degrees coming out of there. Because feed is starting to ferment over the last 2 days. Changing it up a little bit for this load. My dad's up at the top of the silo, so he's just pointing that chute to the north and south and to the west to try and get it as full as he can. And I'm standing down here. I'll keep an eye out for him waving his hand out the door because he's inside right now. And then he'll tell me that I gotta shut the wagon off because the silo's full. And then we'll move on to the right one, the harvester, and top that one off again. Fortunately, my GoPro is hanging up there on the side of the silo. I don't think he's gonna know how to turn it on. A little ways up there. So until next time, enjoy. God bless.